Oh, good morning again, and it's good that we have Anthony back with us for the vote. So we're all here. I I don't know, Anthony, if you were able to catch any of the discussion earlier today, but we did have Jared Carpenter in along with Laura Petrie, and I think Chris can fill you in on all the results, but the result is, I think, was very satisfactory. They're gonna work together this summer and try to cover the issues that Jared has concerns over, and it seems like they got 10-12 million dollars to put into water quality and all of that. So the money really, I don't think, is an issue. The governor, I guess, put some extra in the budget. So they're gonna hopefully work together, and it kind of sounded refreshing to me as a member of the committee that they're willing to try to move forward in the best possible way and come back next year with some type of a report. Hopefully, it'll be a positive thing, and it'll help with our water quality and the other issues. In regards to the bill, I think Linda, I don't know if you sent us all a copy.
Yeah, I saw the draft bill. I
Yeah.
did see that.
Hasn't changed a whole lot from where we left it the other day. And so we were getting ready to vote it out, so we'll get down through to appropriations because of extending that task force. There's some
Oh, right. Yep.
small money on there. And so I don't know if you had any questions or if any of the committee members have questions, but if not, be willing to take a motion to pass out S-258 as amended. Brian?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So last call for anybody that has any questions? No. So I'd like to move that the committee vote out the strike all amendment to it'd be draft 3.1 of S-258 favorably.
Yeah, is there a second to that?
Second.
Yeah, it's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? If not, Corey, would you want to call the roll?
Yeah, Senator Collmore,
Yes.
Senator Parent, yes. Senator Pearson,
Yes.
Senator Polina,
Yes.
Senator Starr,
Yes.
And I'd like to further
Aye.
move that we vote out draft 3.1 of 258 as amended.
So
We technically need to do it twice, I think, Bob, because we're amending the original
Right.
bill.
okay, so we did the amendment. Now we'll do the bill as amended.
Yep.
Good catch. So Corey, is there any discussion on the motion? And was there a second to the second motion?
Second.
Thank you, Chris.
So Corey, would you like to call the roll, please?
Senator Collmore,
Yes.
Senator Parent, yes. Senator Pearson,
Yes.
Senator Polina,
Yes.
Senator Starr,
Yes.
right? 5-0.
And yeah, and Brian, would you want to report this?
Sure, be glad to.
Yeah. So that's good, guys. Appreciate the vote, and let's hope that our discussion this morning goes well and our bill goes well. I'll probably be the reporter from appropriations on the funding part when we get down to that. So the only other thing I had for us this morning is Linda and I have been working on putting a schedule together for when we come back on the 8th, which I think we basically agreed to try to meet in person. So we'll certainly be good to see all you guys in a meeting together instead of on Zoom. So we've been working on a schedule, and we did get a bill yesterday, the other half of the agency's request. So we have that to review, and then the dairy task force that I was on had some other recommends and that I thought we ought to spend some time on. And I've asked Linda to get hold of Dan Smith to come in and give us an update on, we've got part of it done and what we haven't got done. And also the Agency of Ag, they had a task force in regards to the Horizon Dairy situation. And they had some recommends in their report that should move forward, I think, but they haven't requested any time yet before the committee. So I want to get that in, and maybe if we do decide to craft a bill, we could do whatever we think we can do and should do between the two task force rather than doing separate bills all over the place. So we'll try to get somebody from the task force in regards to the Horizon situation in as well, and get on to that when we get back after the break. And what I was thinking is we could keep that housekeeping bill that we got yesterday. And then if we have any other of these issues or other ag issues, including our veggie and that, we could add it to that bill. So we should have, I think, plenty to keep us going. And then, you guys, if you have any suggestions or issues that you want us to spend time on, get them to either Linda or myself, and we'll push forward, with those. I know the veggie and berry people, they haven't asked for a lot, but there may be something in one of those reports where we can pick up on something that they would like and would make life easier and better for them. We'll throw that in, as well, because it seems like we're getting in promoting buy local and grow local and help our supply chain. So the only other thing, Chris, how did that meeting go with Health Ed yesterday?
I wanted to update you. It was, I was really interested. I not done a lot of planning for my presentation. This is on the universal meals. And I found, just starting to talk about it again, I really like that issue. I think it's really
Oh.
important. So, and interestingly, I don't know very many people serving on House Ed. And-
Doesn't take long, does it?
no, it doesn't. And also the camera, it's hard to see faces, but I had two, I believe, newer Republicans reach out to me and say, thank you. It's really important. So it was a great conversation. We probably talked with me for half an hour. And I think they're interested in it and want to dig in. And, since maybe everybody knows this, but since we did the discussion, Maine has made this law. California is looking at it. So where we started the conversation and might have been out in front, that's no longer the case. So we'll see. They're going to come up against funding. They're going to see that. But in terms of, the more I talk about it and the more experience our schools have with universal meals, I think the more no-brainer it becomes. And just in terms of sort of equity and the strata that exists out there, this is an easy one to me. So anyway, it was a great conversation and I'm hopeful. And of course, it's an S bill, so they've got now some time to dig in. And as Senator, you all will know, we're dealing with this pupil weighting, which is an equity issue that we're putting a ton of energy into that. And so this fits. Anyway, so we'll see. I don't know how to read the tea leaves, but it was a good conversation. They're clearly getting folks in. They're getting people from Maine in. So I'm hopeful. And and it all comes back to actually making it easier to get more local food into schools as well. So.
Well, yeah. And
How much money are we talking about? I forget.
Well, breakfast was, which is what the bill says now, was
Right.
about up to 8 million. And the whole package was as much as 25 million. But it's also, this is relevant. Remember when if your population is eligible, you get like just about all of it paid for by the feds.
yeah,
And there's that paperwork. Remember this, how there's different ways to prove eligibility. And the hunger advocates were saying we need to shift to away from the food 3 squares sort of automatic. Only it's just annoying. And you get a lot of parents, we're worried that we're underrepresented, that parents are not filling out paperwork, and therefore their kids that might be eligible are not getting the benefit, and therefore the school is leaving, not getting this federal money. In the pupil weighting discussion, and not one of the controversial parts, is a need, because that discussion has a poverty weight. They need a much better reflection of the community's income at schools. And so the recommendation has been a universal, I forget what they call it, income form that every parent would be filling out. That happens to have a really nice, easy benefit for the meal program. So this is one of those things that we would have struggled to ask for, but is happening elsewhere, and actually the agency of ed and everybody's like, yeah, we need to do this. So that just happens to have a nice little side benefit for our need to maximize federal money.
yeah, and we're running a $90 million surplus in the ed fund. How much better time could there be to institute this statewide? And I don't know, well, hell, it was 40 years ago, maybe. I don't know if I ever told you the story about, we had was on the school board for like 20 21 years and chaired it for 19 of them. And we had a bunch of old junky buildings and, and of course, Troy has always been poorer than a church mouse. And so ran across this issue that if you had your town averaged a certain income level, you could get all this extra federal aid to build a school. And so, of course, I've always been able to count pretty well. And so I talked the school board into hiring this teacher that was really popular in town that summer to go to every household and get their income information. And hell, we got almost, I don't know, it was like 95% or 98% of the schoolhouse built with all this federal money because we could qualify for it. This school meal thing is the same thing. We are misrepresenting our poorness here in Vermont. So, well, that's a good report, Chris, and hopefully, they haven't moved it to lunch yet?
No, but I kept hammering on that, and they, as I understand it, after I left, the testimony was so compelling that they all agreed to look at. No, I think they agreed to look at the whole package and including whether or not to think about lunch. So it's I tried hard to put it on their table, and as I understand it from folks that were following up, they are willing to do that.
Yeah.
So it was good. The other update I wanted to give you is on the 181 in finance.
Yeah.
That's the cannabis farming issues.
Yeah.
And Chair Cummings was not too thrilled to receive testimony begging us to reconsider why it's only small farms and small license, that whole issue that we wrestled with. And so I think we'll move that today, I would guess. I haven't looked at the agenda this morning, but my understanding is we'll move that. If I had to guess, it'll just be what we approved. And we've been trying to, finance doesn't love new tax breaks, but I'm trying to say, no, this is only for existing farms. So they've already got a tax break, and why would we make them go to the supply store and pay tax on a shovel because that's for their cannabis project and not on the whatever else they're buying for the rest of the farm? And so I think people are calmed down about that. But anyway, hopefully that will move today or as soon as we get back.
Yeah, and really important to keep it to just the small guys. If we're ever gonna develop that market, and if they can get their foot in the door solid, that's the way to go. And well, anyways, I think we're wrapping up our first half pretty decent. Any other comments from committee members? No?
Have you all
Okay, we're
approved
pushing-
that letter?
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah,
thought the letter was good. Only question I had is on the $8,000 piece. There was no comma after the 8. I don't know if that's needed or not.
Oh, I didn't notice that, Cory.
I'll throw that in.
I'm not usually one to catch commas, too many or too little, but that one I did.
Okay.
so we're all set on sending that letter to approach in regards to the conservation districts, right?
Absolutely.
I don't think we need a motion or anything. It's on behalf of the committee. So if you're all in agreement, we'll have Linda forward that along. Anything else? No. Well,
Have a good week.
very good. I'll see some of you guys at noon or after the floor. And otherwise, we'll see you on the floor at 11:30. And if I don't see you, have a good week off.
But when
Thanks,
would
buddy.
you, I don't believe we'll have floor on Tuesday, the 8th. So
No.
would we be planning to get together at 10 o'clock or what would be your plan
No,
for that first day?
I'm sorry. I was thinking our normal time is at 9:30, but if you wanted to move it to 10, we can. I
So,
mean,
it's whatever.
it all depends on if you need time to drive in Tuesday morning, extra time. Otherwise, we would have started at 9:30 on the floor. So Linda and I decided at 9:30, but if you want to make it 10, that's fine too.
9:30 is fine.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, okay, so we'll plan to, and Linda.
Where?
will,
Where are we gonna meet?
You
28.
can, any of your personal stuff, you can we'll use our old room if you want. And we'll meet in the ed room
Okay,
for our regular meetings. And I'm trying to impress upon people that if we can possibly get our witnesses to stay on Zoom, we'll have them testify by Zoom because it's much easier for most of them to call in, and it's been working, I think, quite well. Saves them parking time and driving time, and so if we have somebody that insists on coming in, so be it. We'll allow that, but for the most part, we'll try to stick to Zoom meetings, even though we're gonna be there in the building, if that's agreeable with you guys.
Yeah, it works.
Yeah,
We expect
Well-
O'Grady's in person, right?
yeah, I think he pretty much works in the building. And of course, Linda and Michael will be there, and if we have to, have somebody that has to talk to us, like Jared, I guess, is in the building every day. Like this morning, if we'd have been there, we could had him come in person. But other than from that, we'll try to keep them on Zoom and see how that works. If it doesn't work, we'll open the door up and let them shuffle in. So anyways, we'll see you.